So David King is the UK's special representative for climate change, or at least he was from 2013 to 2017. He's quite a significant man. And he has said that because of Rishi Sunak's U-turn, bobbing up and down, he has weakened Britain's position dramatically. I wouldn't have said the word dramatically, I would have said diplomatically. And Sunak has compounded that by his behaviour with Kyriakos Mitsotakis the other day. It's not about his relationship with Greece. It's about the signal that is sent out to the wider international community that they will be treated with contempt by this inward-looking, self-satisfied, smug little MP who lords it over us as PM. And he's got it wrong. The PM, like an average PM, like an average MP, is the servant of the people. And once he starts to think that it's his job, and this morning his defence of snubbing the Greek Prime Minister was, I think, has compounded the problems that existed until yesterday. This is a stupid Prime Minister, monumentally stupid and unaware of the diplomatic forces that he is destroying. We have spent years in our country developing a diplomatic raft that puts us well above countries of our size. And we've been doing this progressively since the end of the Second World War, and we have benefited greatly from the diplomatic standing that we don't really deserve because of our size and what we bring to the table, but we do deserve because of our history. And it's a brittle animal, and Rishi Sunak has undermined that significantly with his petulant behaviour in the last few days, in the last few weeks. And it's as if I was going to say he can't be any worse than Liz Truss, she with the hands. However many hand exercises she was given, she couldn't master them. Her hand jobs were beyond compare in uselessness. So and her obsession with Kwasi Kwarteng's prodigious package. Yes, this makes her out to be a figure of fun, but oddly, I think we can survive that because as she left the domestic stage, she was ridiculed from office. Rishi Sunak is a different order of being. He is significantly more intelligent, and the stuff he brought to the table was so important, so well honed. I think people had cause for optimism. I think he has been history will judge him to be worse even than Boris Johnson, the way he's going at the moment. And the new oil and gas drilling in the North Sea, the green U-turns, the nonsense, but I think most particularly the cult, and I'm not making any reference to Jeremy Hunt, the cult of contempt for ordinary subjects in this country, for our constituents, the cult of contempt. So I was reading a story this morning about Steve Brisley and about his parents in Wales, pensioners, who wrote to the Prime Minister and begged for a meeting with the Foreign Secretary, then James Cleverly, who of course is onanistically more obsessed with his own image and attempts to control his impulsive vocal ejaculations than with his real job, which is representing our country and representing the people of this country. And even as Foreign Secretary, he couldn't be bothered to reply to Pete and Jill Brisley, and as Home Secretary, he doesn't seem to be making a much better job of it. In either capacity, he should have replied. He should have been in contact. He certainly should have passed on the details to his successor, Lord Cameron. He doesn't seem to have been able to do anything either. He's too obsessed with striding the world stage and looking grand. Looking grand is one thing, but his office, his civil servants should have been on board and should have been writing back and dealing with this, because Steve Brisley and his family sum up the commitment that this government has made to supporting Israel, and yet when it comes to the details of the individuals, they can't be bothered. They want to posture on the world stage. They don't want to take responsibility for the details. And the details are about reassuring the Greek Prime Minister. They're about reassuring people in Wales whose family were murdered on October the 7th. They're about reassuring people who are worried about whether or not they can afford to heat their homes. And I don't think this government is interested. And I think this is a long-running saga that certainly goes back to Brexit, and the letters that I've sent to ministers. Eventually, some of them have elicited responses, but it's taken so long, and the responses that I've often got are so inept. It's as if there's a particular branch of the civil service factory that produces paragraphs, can be slotted into a letter on any particular subject, whether that paragraph is appropriate or not. Like the paragraph this morning, which Rishi Sunak delivered to Keir Starmer as a sort of response, but it was a response to a question Keir Starmer had never answered, had never asked. It's as if government has stagnated into stupidity and discourtesy, and that cannot be tolerated. It's a great shame. I said the other day I was ashamed of this government. I repeat it, I am ashamed. This is not the standard of behaviour that one should expect from a government.